I kid you not, I jump on that scale, I was the same exact weight to the ounce, and I was in tears. Welcome back to our channel, a safe space for us to discuss topics related to motherhood, body positivity, and overall wellness. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And for those of you returning, we appreciate your support. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I am going to be talking about that 4 to 10 week portion of your post-op experience, and it's something that I don't really see discussed that much online, and that's about that emotional post-op roller coaster that you go through, because this is at the point where you're kind of off of your pain meds, you're feeling more like yourself, you're transitioning into going back to work and into real life, whether it be, you know, navigating through your regular 9 to 5, if you're an entrepreneur, getting back to your day-to-day, or, you know, if you have children, getting back into fully being responsible for handling your responsibilities with them as well. And as you move into that transition, there are a lot of emotions that start to get tied up into the overall experience. And that's, you're kind of constantly looking at your body. Does it look good? Is it meeting the expectations that I have? And so today I'm really excited to partner with the Lap Band program, who is sponsoring this video, to discuss the topic of trusting the process. So if you want to hear more about that, stay tuned. So let's talk about expectations whenever you're going to have any type of procedure. Now, as you guys know, let me give you a little quick 30-second breakdown. So this is my 4th round of surgery, my 3rd round of actual reconstructive surgery. Some refer to it as plastic surgery, but I'll let you know why I refer to it as reconstructive. My 1st round of surgery was a bariatric procedure, which is called the lap band surgery. That was about 12 years ago. And then after that, I had my 1st round of reconstructive surgery, which I refer to it as reconstructive because it was an opportunity for me to kind of get rid of a lot of excess skin, and my breasts were hanging quite a bit because I did lose about 100+ pounds at that point. So I did have a breast augmentation, I did have lipo, and a tummy tuck. And then I had a baby, my beautiful girl, and I would say around the time she was about 3.5, I then had my 2nd round of reconstructive surgery, which was lipo 360 with a BBL, and arm lift and inner thigh lipo. And then just about 2 months ago, I had my 3rd round of reconstructive surgery, where I had some lipo again in the 360 area, as well as a BBL. And then I had J plasma on my abdomen and my back, as well as chin lipo. And I had a little bit of revision of inner thigh lipo, very light, to kind of make it a little bit more symmetrical, because that was as a suggestion from my surgeon, who was Dr. Doback. She was absolutely fantastic, by the way. All right, so now that we're all caught up, you know, I am not a medical professional. I'm just someone who has had 4 rounds of surgery, 1 being bariatric, 3 being reconstructive surgery, and I'm sharing with you my personal experience and hoping that you will get something away from it. You'll take something away from it so that it can make your experience that much better, and you'll feel more informed with whichever decision you make. We're talking about trusting the process in this video, and what I'm referring to is what it really looks like to navigate in that 4-week plus range. So in week 1 through 4, let me tell you what you're kind of experiencing, and this is just at high level, and of course this isn't textbook, it's different for everybody, right? But in week 1 through 4, you're typically going through a lot of pain, a lot of swelling. You're exhausted because anesthesia does get you through, and you know, your body's been through quite a bit, right? And you're going through pain management, right? So you're on some sort of pain medication and you're managing that to the best of your ability. You have post-op appointments, and now you're really getting to know the faja, also known as a compression garment, right? So typically you start with your stage 1 faja, which has a little less compression, but it is helping to keep that swelling down. You want to keep it on as much as possible, because when you take it off, you swell back up. Then you're getting into your stage 2 faja, typically around that 3rd week. You get into the stage 2. Sometimes it may take a little bit longer, especially if you've had an arm lift, like larger incisions, such as an arm lift or If you've had a tummy tuck, you may not want to aggravate it. So based on your surgeon's suggestions, you may, delay getting into the stage 2, because the stage 2 faja, it's a lot more aggressive, right? It's much more compressed garment, and it's again helping to release some of that swelling so that you can get those fluids out. And of course, that in conjunction with altering your faja as needed, in conjunction with post-op lymphatic massages, is really going to get you the optimal results you're seeking. However, as you're going through that, remember, everybody's different. Everybody's body is different, rather, right? So, in a perfect world, you hit the week 4 mark and then all the swelling goes down, you look like a dream, and you go about your business, right? But that's not how it works. It's just not. You will realize that maybe your swelling may go down really quickly. If you had inner thigh lipo, let's say you had inner thigh, you had your lipo 360, you had a BBL. Okay, you may feel like, okay, great, my swelling has went down completely on my inner thighs, but your stomach may take almost 2 months for that swelling to go down. Or I'll do you one better. It may go down on one side and it may still continue to swell on another side. And that's why it's so important to keep that stage 2 faja on for at least 23 hours a day, and only take it off to take a shower and wash it as needed. Because the more you take it off and the longer you're without it, you'll realize your body starts to swell up, and that's not what you want. It helps to keep the swelling at bay. But as you're going through that process, you feel like, okay, are my hips balanced? Like, is it symmetrical? Because I feel like one side looks bigger than the other, or one butt cheek looks bigger than the other, or one butt cheek may have dimples and the other one didn't. Remember that when you're moving fat from one place to another, sometimes the fat may die in certain areas, or the swelling may still be going down on one butt cheek and hasn't completely went down in the other, right? And then you'll also go through that fluff period, as many people refer to it, in a few months down the road. So this is a part of the process where you may start to question, did I make the right decision? Did I choose the right surgeon? Did they do what they promised they were going to be doing, what I paid for, right? You start to question whether or not you did enough to feed the fat. I mean, so many questions go on in your head, and you have to remember that your body is adjusting to its new shape and form, and it's still taking form. And that's why it's so important for you to focus in on keeping that faja garment, keeping it altered, doing your additional compression with your lipofoams, and then also having those lymphatic massages, right? Because that's going to, again, give you the opportunity to really get your body to where it needs to be. But even with that, it will take time. So I wanted to jump into a little story time, if that's okay with you, and share with you a very similar process that I went through when I had my bariatric surgery. But before I do, here's a note from the sponsor. This video is brought to you by the Lap Band program. I am so excited to partner with them because I want to let all of my followers know about the procedure that changed my life. At my heaviest, I was 350 pounds, and I've been overweight for the majority of my life. And I always tell my closest friends, like, looking back now at these pictures, I didn't realize that I was this overweight. But if I could be honest with myself, I know that I was limited to certain physical activities because of my size. I was a size 26 woman. And that is, for me, at my height, at 5'4", it was just too big, and it was preventing me from being able to be as physically active as I needed to be. Electing to have the lap band surgery opened up the opportunity for me to be able to choose my health and my future well-being first. Now that I have a daughter and it's 11 and a half years later, I'm able to do the fun, simple things in life, like going to the park with her and having fun at her school, doing all different types of physical activities with the kids. And I truly enjoy it, and I don't end up feeling fatigued or winded. I'm also able to have the foods that I enjoy, and I'm able to eat in moderation. And I really am grateful for the lap band procedure, because 11 and a half years later, I am still continuing to live my best life. Click the link in the bio if you're interested in hearing more. It's just a quick 15-minute seminar. It'll tell you some more information about what the procedure looks like. And then you can also follow up with them to see if this is a good option for you. So thanks again to the Lap Band program for partnering with me, and I hope you guys enjoyed that little snippet. If you're interested, again, don't forget to click the link in the description box and you can see that quick video and see if this is a good weight loss procedure option for you or someone in your family. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my experience when I had the Lap Band that is very aligned with trusting the process. I went through all of the different pre-op testing and things like that in order to qualify for the Lap Band surgery. And keep in mind, this is 12 years ago, so the process is probably going to be a little bit different today. Now, when I was going through the process, 10 days prior to my surgery date, which was in November, I had to go on a liquid diet. And then I had to remain on the diet for, of course, the day of surgery and then for 10 days after. Now, that's 21 days total of being on a liquid diet. And sis is a foodie. Okay, I was not happy. I was hungry. And sis even had to be on a liquid diet for Thanksgiving. I know. But I really knew that I had to make this change, and I was excited about going on this journey, right? So when I say liquid diet, we're talking protein shakes, smoothies, pudding, jello, chicken broth, things of that nature. Now, when I was off of this, I was so excited for my post-op appointment. My first post-op appointment, I believe, was like day 11 of, after my surgery. So I was really excited because I'm like, oh my God, I've been on a liquid diet for 21 days. Right? I can't wait to see how much weight I lost. I kid you not. I jump on that scale. I was the same exact weight to the ounce. And I was in tears. Because I was just like, I'm sitting here with these three, because it's a laparoscopic surgery, right? So I had these three scars, these scar incisions. I was still in a lot of pain. And I was just wondering, I started immediately having remorse, right? Like, was this something I should have done? Does this even really work? But then now in hindsight, I'm looking back now, and what I would tell the 1 week post-op, a Lap Band post-op me, is you're still swollen. Right? You're still swollen. You've got, when they do the surgery, they blow your stomach up so they can see everything inside, right? So you're still so swollen. You're still trying to get all that gas out of you from them blowing up that air. You're still on your pain meds. And when I'm on my pain meds, my bowel movements are slim to none. And at that point, I distinctly remember I'd had no bowel movements, even though I was on Colace, but because of the pain meds, it was kind of counteracting the stool softener, right? So those are things that I didn't think about in that moment. Immediately I started blaming myself, saying like, maybe I had too many liquids. Maybe this was the wrong decision. Maybe my family was right when they said I shouldn't have had surgery. But then I realized, after kind of going through that emotional situation, that this is a process. And when you're going through this, everybody's body is different. And it's the same thing for plastic surgery, or if you're having reconstructive surgery, it is the same thing. Everybody's body is different. I know that you'll see some people come on with their plastic surgery 2 weeks post-op and they look so tiny, they look like there's no swelling. Their body is different. Maybe their surgeon wasn't as aggressive in their approach, right? You may see people at post-op services coming in for their massages and they don't have on a faja. That's their choice. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you though, if you're 2 weeks post-op and you don't have on your faja and you're walking around like, well, I'm going to Jamaica and I don't have time to wear my compression garments only at night, you're not going to get optimal results. If you think you look good now, imagine how much better you would have looked if you kept that faja on for those specific periods of time. So I say all of that to say, for me, I didn't start seeing the results of my Lap Band procedure until I actually got back into the gym. When I had the Lap Band as a tool, swelling went down and I was off my pain meds, I changed my diet, and I was in the gym, then I started seeing the weight loss happen. So for me, I needed multiple things to be able to see those results. And it goes the same thing for me now. I mean, I've had those points where I'm 6 weeks, 7 weeks post-op and I'm like, okay, I thought my stomach would have been a little bit smaller, or I thought, especially with the chin lipo, like there's no like phase 2 garment for your chin, and the garment that they give you for your chin lipo it's almost like a cotton. It's not like an aggressive garment. So once my face got too big for that, it was just too loose, so I just took it off. I still do my massages every morning and night, but I still question, like, was it worth it? I really don't know. I know some people say, like, keep using the tools, and I'll do a separate video to show you what tools I use to massage my face every morning, every night. And they say, like, you know, eventually you'll see it. You just have to go through the process. So I want to close out this video by saying nothing is going to happen overnight, even plastic surgery. Even plastic surgery. You've got to stay dedicated to those post-op massages. You've got to stay dedicated to getting your faja altered and investing in multiple fajas, because, you know, if you're wearing it every day, you may want to switch them out. Keep your compression, right? No matter how hot it is outside, you've got to stay the course if you want to really see optimal results. All right, so again, I thank the Lap Band company for partnering with me on this video and sponsoring it. Make sure you click the link in the bio if you're interested. Thank you guys so much for staying with us until the end. Make sure you drop a comment with any post-op questions you may have. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and as well as TikTok. I do a lot of my post-op daily updates on TikTok, and I'll continue to provide monthly updates on here. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate your support. Until next time.